Matthew, everyday audiophile, music lover. And today, no beer right now, but I do have something just as good. Let's see if we can get on there on the label. Supersense. So for those in the know, and for those that think this is absolutely crazy, this is a lacquer. Not to be confused with a vinyl, but a lacquer is cut on a lathe. So unlike a vinyl, which is pressed with plastic, that mold, that stamp that actually is used when pressing a vinyl record is made from a lacquer. And lacquers differentiate themselves because they're cut on a lathe. Well, I ordered one. It was crazy expensive. Most people would say too expensive. And we're going to do an unboxing video. So let's go move the camera and let's unbox this thing. Supersense. Took out the labels. We don't need to see those. First, let's flip it over. And let's do this. Okay. So for those that are curious, why would you buy a lacquer? Since lacquers are cut from the master tapes themselves, it is often, I guess you could say, a lacquer is one step closer to the source material. It's as close as you can go to the source without having a tape player, which I don't have, so I will someday, but not right now. So it'll be interesting to see how this album sounds compared to the vinyl that I have, and then hopefully one of the other guys in the group. Oh, this is gorgeous. Ah, that's nice. Look at that, Supersense. Okay, let's just remove this box. We don't need that anymore. This is great packaging so far. So, Supersense. Okay, let's flip this over. The tape where necessary. No need to cut this. Does this count as ASMR for audiophiles? Not entirely sure. This is definitely going to be a new experience for me. I did not think I would be getting this. This was kind of more on a whim from one of the other guys in the group. A challenge, I guess you could say. There we go. Oh, you can see gloves that are in the inside of the packaging. Let's undo this first layer. Oh, this is nice. Let's see if we can do it without breaking it. Pretty close. Another one right here. This one may have to be broken. I apologize in advance. Okay. So first up we have some gloves. These are going to be used for handling the record. From what I understand, this is a must, but we're going to set these aside for right now. There we go. Archival Tape Edition number 4. Oh, this is gorgeous. And there's the album, Getz, Gilberto. Says here, cut on Japanese lacquer disc with pride at Supersense in Vienna. You can see that. This is number 167 out of 500. US edition. I did not get the Premier edition, which is out of 99. That would have been nice. I discovered this after the fact. So let's take this. We're going to... It's very, very nice packaging so far. I'm very, very impressed. But let's take it out. Let's see what we have here. set the side. We have the musicians, what's on each side. You can see the date that this was cut from the tape to the disc, so July 17th of 2024. This is in stereo, and it was Martin Diamant, I'm going to butcher that, I'm sorry, who cut it. We open it up. This is an image of the actual tape that was used. It's a very nice touch. And there we go. A very nice heavy-duty screw here. Oh, that's gorgeous. We will set this aside really quick and look at what else is in here. We have to be very careful with it. Lacquers are extraordinarily brittle compared to vinyl. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, let's take this off very gently. What is all in here? Let's find out. So we have, let's see, this is a pocket. Wow. Man, I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. Some original photography of the duo. This is an image of the grooves. So with every lacquer that they cut, it is inspected to make sure that it is cut correctly, and that's what this image represents, is that it was indeed inspected. Here's an image. It's gorgeous. And a letter. Dear listener, the idea behind this series is to give you the historic master tape as it is, free from any dedicated remastering or other alterations. Compared to other releases of these recordings, in the case of Getz Gilberto, the left and right channels might seem to be reversed. They are not. This is just the first time that you are made aware of it. Yours truly, the cutting engineers from Supersense. I have heard that the channels are reversed, but that's just the way that it was, and when it was mastered, they wanted it to... Everyone decided that the other way was better. This is a list of contents in here, information about the sides. It's so cool. Oh man, this is great. Let's see what else we have in here. I need to put these images back. I need to leave it in the condition that I found it. These back in here. Wonderful. And we're gonna pull these out. Not very easily. Okay, let's just go with what's behind here. Okay. Let's see what we have. This is just a letter, just telling them about their mission, about why they're doing this. It's very, very intimate. How to care for a Supersense master cut record. Step number 1: only hold it by its outer edges. Doesn't that sound familiar? Oh, and here's the lathe that they used to cut it. This truly is something that I feel like could be you could put on the wall. So this is really, really cool. I do appreciate this. All right. I think this was behind this. I need this to all go in the same order. Right there, like that. And this was like that. Let's get this all back in here. And let's take a look at the at the lacquer. Okay, I will get that in a moment. Let's set this aside. And let's get the gloves. Need to have those. Alright, here we are. Let's bring this back in. Remove the screw. It has a rubber gasket on the bottom of it so that it keeps a tight seal. Okay. Wow, you can feel the weight of this. Let's pull it out just like that. It's gorgeous. Can't wait to play it. Just mark side A and side B with no additional information. But for now, we're going to put this back in here. Oh, that is a very gentle operation, isn't it? I do not feel safe doing this. Let's get it in there. And we can pull it from the sides. There we go. Put it back in here. There we are. It doesn't sit perfectly center around the hole, so that is an interesting problem to have. It's like it was forced on that hole. Let's get this. There we go. Now that is how you store it. It is not as easy as a vinyl, that is for sure. We're back in the chair. That was the unboxing, and now we get to listen. First, we're going to do digital, just as a baseline. We're going to follow it up with the one-step copy of the Getz Gilberto album. This is the one from Impex Records. And then after that, we will get to move on to the lacquer. For each of these, I'm obviously going to be taking my notes, and then afterwards, share them with you. But first, we got to clean up this room. Let's do it. Is a thing of beauty. Gloves come off. Again, the gloves are a must from what I read. I've done it. I've listened to digital, the one step, and the lacquer. Now, as a bit of context, I didn't listen to the whole album. I listened to the first 2 tracks on digital, so that would be, where's that track listing? You're going to have to forgive me. First 2 tracks on digital, the first 2 tracks on the One Step 45, and so that would be The Girl from Ipanema, I'm going to butcher that, and Doralice. Then I listened to the first 2 tracks, really the first full side on the lacquer. I didn't do the whole thing because got to get back to work. To be honest, it's about done with my lunch break. And let's go through the notes from digital to 45. Right, this is a 1-step 45 to a 33, but a lacquer. So I'm gonna pull up my notes that I had here. Okay, digital. Well mastered. I don't know which version it was from Koba's, but I felt like it was well mastered. It was a very smooth presentation from left to right and back to front. But, nothing really drew attention to itself. It was just pretty good microdynamics, really smooth singing. The drums were... You could just start to get that sense of where they were, like how he was rolling as he was playing the drums in the left channel there. Enjoyable. Enjoyable. 1-step took it up a pretty huge notch. And I've seen some mixed reviews online, but 1-step did a phenomenal job, I feel like, of kind of bringing out the best parts of the album, and I had a lot to say about it. There was a quieter background compared to the digital, which I found interesting. The digital had this kind of, that soft hiss that you'd hear in digital tracks as the noise floor. The 1-step was even quieter than that. It still had just a touch of it, but it was quieter. The drums on the left channel there, they were further back and they were a little bit softer. You could now hear, as he was playing, that he wasn't hitting the exact same spot in that drum every time. It was a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right as we went through the track, and that was wonderful to hear. And then the voices actually sounded like they were in the room with me. It sounded like they were up on a stage, but they were in the room with me, and that was a delight. That was really, really... I wanted to listen to the whole thing, but I had to move on to the lacquer after the 2 tracks, which is just one side on the Impex 45. I have a lot more notes on the lacquer. First, taking it out and putting it on is even more of... is it not a chore? It's even more of just a routine, right? With the vinyl, it's pretty easy to get it out and handle it. Well, with the lacquer, I'm putting on the gloves, I'm unscrewing it, I'm taking it out, I'm putting it on. You have to be very gentle with the anti-static brush. That's all you can use to clean it. You can't use an ultrasonic cleaner. But the sound. So this is it's cut. It's not pressed. It's cut in 33. Not in 45, and immediately within the first 5 seconds you can tell that the sound is more realistic. And what I mean by more realistic is that if the speakers didn't disappear before, even if they did now, it sounded like they were completely gone, right? The drums were even more recessed into the sound stage. I mean, another 10 feet, which again, pretty impressive for the RS10s. They were recessed, and you could hear even more of that roll. I mean, it was just phenomenal. It didn't have quite the left to right of the Impex 45, and I think that just comes down to how they mastered it. But it was a far more enjoyable drum. And I do want to say, I say left, the channels are swapped. The reviews are true. The lacquer, the channels are swapped because that's how they come from the tape. And so it's not that the lacquer is wrong, it's that every other mastering of that recording is wrong, and the lacquer just happens to be right. So if you want to fix that, you just reverse the channels for this one lacquer. Going from there, the female voice, again, just a little bit more recessed, but it sounds like she's really singing into that microphone. You can really hear like the emotion that's coming from her, and that was something that just I got goosebumps. I didn't get goosebumps from the Impex 45, and definitely not from the digital. So that was wonderful. The trumpet at the end of the first track is really what surprised me the most. With the Impex, you started to get that sense of that this guy was just really moving around like this, and it came through a little bit. But with the Lacquer, I mean, it was layered. It was layered. This tone that he was producing, and how he was playing up and down. I mean, it was wow. That's all I can really say is wow. I mean, through that first track alone, it became very evident that the Lacquer was something special. And I need to have my friend over. He has a really nice tape deck. We're going to play it again on one of his turntables and record it to tape and see how that sounds. Recorded at 15 IPS. So my last bit of notes about the Lacquer is that it still had this low rumble of noise, but it was a natural noise, kind of like what you'd expect to be background noise in a live not performance hall, but a live stage, and that alone sets this Lacquer apart from the 45 and the digital, where they just had more of that static hiss. The Impex not as much, but it was still more of that digital sounding hiss compared to the Lacquer, which was just pure joy, pure analog. Loved it from beginning to end. Anyways, that is my review of the Supersense Getz Gilberto. Probably butchered that again. Archival tape edition number 4 on Lacquer. I am definitely going to be picking up more of these, and I will be talking about more of them in the future. I guess as a last note, is it worth the asking price? This was $490, where you can pick up that Impex for $130. It might be out of stock now, but $130. I'm going to say yes, it was worth it just for that super sense of realism that I got out of the Lacquer. But for most people, it's probably not going to be worth it. But yeah, I'll be picking up some more, and I'll be talking about them soon. See ya.